What is up? What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday, guys. Happy Thursday. I am feeling great today because today is home opener for the Chicago Sky, and in honor of that, I had to wear my WNBA Jam shirt that Candace Parker is retired, but it got Courtney Vandersloot, who was here, left, and came back. And so that's pretty cool. But anyway, I'm excited about today. I'm excited about what is in store tonight. And I am excited to talk to you all again because, as y'all know, I'm a women's basketball junkie. I love this stuff. I love talking about this stuff. And we got some stuff to talk about because yesterday was a day. Yesterday was an absolute day when it came to women's basketball. We saw the hometown kid return home. We saw a pretty terrible injury. We saw a surprise victory. And we saw some aggressive play. All right. So yeah, let's talk about it. All right, as we are starting off, if you all can do me a huge favor and hit that like button, it really does help the channel out a whole lot. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let me know what you all thought about yesterday's games before we get into it. And also, guys, share this with a friend, share this with a neighbor. Because this is, I'm not starting off with like any negative stuff. Like the views probably won't be as high for this one. So like share this with people. Organically, it won't be as high, but share this with people. Let people know that we are on the internet. Okay. Let's get to what happened yesterday. So what happened yesterday was we saw 3 awesome games. 2 games happened at the same time, but we saw some great games. Shout out to WNBA League Pass, which allows you to watch both of the games side by side. It's kind of cool. Anyway, we saw the Minnesota Lynx take on the Dallas Wings and eke out a victory, guys. This was actually a very, very close game, a game that I actually thought that maybe Dallas had, especially as we went into the fourth quarter. But anyway, final result of that game was 85 Minnesota, 81 Dallas. We're going to walk through these games. I'm just going to tell you the results real quick. Then we're going to individually walk through each of those games. And then we're going to talk about tonight's games. And then we're going to talk about like some other stuff if we have time, and get to any super chats that you all have, any, comments that I'm able to take out and talk about. So yeah, lots of stuff to actually discuss. All right. We also saw the Golden State Valkyries get their first dub against the Washington Mystics, guys. I really like both of these teams. And this was a absolute battle. And shout out to the Golden State Valkyries. They won 76-74. And then finally we had the Phoenix Mercury versus the LA Sparks. And the LA Sparks was a very depleted team that got a lot of injuries. I talked about that yesterday. But they did have the best showing that they possibly could, in my opinion. But it wasn't enough to end up losing to the Phoenix Mercury with the final score of 89-86. Okay, so that's the real quick thing about what happened yesterday. And let's actually specifically go into these games. So first up, let's talk about the Minnesota Lynx getting that dub again, 85-81 against the Dallas Wings. Now, guys, this was just a fun vibe. Watching this game and seeing like the crowd and like how many people were out and just supporting the W, because in this game happened in Minnesota, and it was against Dallas. And you know what that means? That means the return of the hometown hero, Paige Bueckers. We already know that Paige's actual hometown, they renamed the city for the day. Paige Bueckers, Minnesota, when she had her first WNBA game, and that was against Minnesota, but it was in Dallas. But finally, Paige has physically returned to Minnesota as a professional WNBA player, and you could tell the crowd was like, "Let's go, Paige!" Like the crowd was there. You know, they were there. They were rocking out with Paige Bueckers because, like, hey, that's the, you know, Napheesa Collier is really the now of, oh, I should be using this graphic. Napheesa Collier is really the now of Minnesota, but, like, you know, Minnesota people, they remember people who came from Minnesota and people who still put Minnesota on their back, and that is Paige Bueckers. And I thought that it was a pretty awesome sight to see her sort of get the recognition that she deserves from the Minnesota crowd. We saw about 12,000 folks in attendance, almost 13,000. It's about 12,700 people in attendance. The lower bowl was like pretty much full. The upper bowl, you know, had a lot of people sitting in there, and so it seemed like a good showing for people just showing their love to the hometown hero, even though technically her hometown is not Minneapolis, but you get the picture. Home area, I guess. Here's the thing. Thank DW. Yes, I saw this. I think DW is totally right. Here's the deal, guys. We saw a long line. So AZ Fudd was there, of course, because, you know, makes sense. Big game. AZ Fudd was there, and it seemed like she could barely enjoy the atmosphere in the game and all that stuff because she had. And I wish I grabbed the video. So I could show you all. But AZ Fudd, who still plays for the UConn Huskies, for those who don't know, she could have entered the draft. She decided not to. She's going to return for one more year. But AZ Fudd was there, and she had a long line of people going up the. It looked like she was like in the 100 level or whatever. But like there was a long line of people just like going all the way up the stairs of people waiting, with a lot of people in UConn gear waiting for an opportunity to say hi to AZ Fudd and take a picture or like whatever. I was just like, man. man. That's a lot. That is a lot of people, you know, waiting to see AZ Fudd. Did they call her the People's Princess? I think that's what they call her. But the People's Princess was in the building, and she was signing autographs, taking photos, probably kissing some babies. She was probably doing everything. But yeah, that was kind of fun to see. Also, Aubrey Griffin was there, of course, because she's with the Minnesota Lynx, but she's out. You know, this year she had surgery. But she was there at the game, and so her and Paige had a moment before the game, and so that was kind of cool to see. But anyway, that's all the ancillary stuff that has nothing to do with the actual game. But let's talk about the actual game itself. It was a really, really good game, I would say. Overall, this was a really good game. Oh no, I gotta get to this because again, I think this is great. Tisha says, I sat behind KK Arnold in Dallas and they had to have security refuse people during the game so she could enjoy it. She interacted and did a lot of picks before and after though. Wow. I didn't see I know that KK Arnold was sitting, I believe she's sitting courtside for one of the Dallas games. I didn't realize that like there was a lot of people you know, clamoring. I'm sure I could imagine, but I didn't see any video of that. But that's cool to know. Thank you for letting us know. Yeah, these players, man, they're famous, right? They are famous. They are absolute famous. Anyway, let's get to the actual game itself, because again, this was a game that the Minnesota Lynx won, right? The first game of the season. We saw these two teams play each other. They played each other again. One thing to note about the beginning of the WNBA season, we see a lot of repeats. We see a lot of players play home and away in a very short span of time, and then they eventually branch out and play other teams. But like we see this quite a bit. So like they just played each other, now they're playing them again. And that first game, it left a lot to be desired by the Dallas Wings. But overall in this game, I actually thought that Dallas played well. Like I saw some really good glimpses from the Dallas Wings throughout this game, and I was like, okay, well, let's go. let's go. Let's rock out. So in terms of let's do Dallas first, and then we'll talk about the Minnesota Lynx. In terms of Dallas, I thought we saw a really good sort of 1-2 punch between Arike Ogunbowale and Paige Bueckers. Now, the shooting efficiency is still abysmal. However, we did see some early threes being made by the Dallas Wings. We did see some early signs of okay, this is you all are looking pretty good, right? You all are looking pretty good. In terms of the ball not sticking and the players being able to really play as a unit. I thought this was a really good game. I thought Paige, yes, efficiency wise, yeah, she didn't do well. She was 3 of 11 from the field in terms of shooting. She finished with 12 points. She didn't shoot well, I would say. However, she did a little bit of everything else. She did a little bit of everything else. 10 assists, had a double-double in this one. She played some pretty good defense. Overall, Dallas, at times, played some really good defense, guys. I'm just saying. That's not a thing that we'll probably talk about a lot, this year, or at least something I haven't talked about so far this year for Dallas. But I thought they played some pretty good defense against Minnesota. I thought at times, still got some improvements to do, but at times they were able to speed up this Lynx team and make them make some mistakes, and just sit down and play some good defense. Now, they didn't do that the entire game, but there were spurts in the game that I was okay, let's go, nice job. But overall, still have a lot to work on. Paige, I thought efficiency wise, not great, but had a good game in my opinion. Because again, this is one of those things where she is continuing to, show off her ability to be a playmaker for this team. And the more that Paige Bueckers has the ball in her hands, the more she can make stuff happen for this team. Because truly, she really is in a lot of ways going to be the architect to determine what happens. Of course, the Arike Ogunbowale is fantastic, absolutely, and she's going to be the leading scorer just about every night. But when the ball is in Paige's hands, I think it just leads to good things happening on the court, right? Arike Ogunbowale, again, still not the best shooting night. However, early on, she was knocking down some shots, and even late, she ended up knocking down a big time 3-point shot and whatnot. I thought she played better in this game, even though she attempted more shots. I think she attempted 20 shots or something like that. But I thought they overall played well. Right? I thought they played well. I thought Nalissa Smith played well in this game. I thought she was hustling and making some efforts, getting on the boards, just sort of trying to figure out what she can do to really help this team out. I thought she played well, and then we go to everybody else, right? And it leads me to talk about Tulip. Arike Ogunbowale was 5 of 13 from the 3. Yes, she was. But this leads me to talk. I don't have. So here's the thing. I clipped the clip, but I didn't have enough time to actually put it in the stream. But there was an instance in this game that just continues. If somebody watched it and they didn't know anything about the WNBA, it continues to show that the WNBA is a physical league. In this game, we saw Jessica Shepard was going downhill, going for a layup, and all of and then DJ Carrington, she's trying to contest, right? Not a big deal. Trying to contest. Hard foul. Jessica Shepard goes to the ground. She gets up like, hey, come on now. That was a little bit too much. And DJ was just looking like she didn't turn around. She just stared at her. I just thought that was hilarious. Like here's the thing, guys. Women's basketball is physical. Okay? And sometimes, hey, you gonna get some hard fouls, and the refs are gonna handle it accordingly and whatnot, and that's all fine and dandy. But I just thought that was kind of funny. I just thought that was kind of funny. Here's the deal. She was assessed a flagrant one for that foul because, of course, that was a flagrant one. That was a flagrant one. A little bit extra on that. And so flagrant one, no hard, no. This wasn't that big of a deal. But it's just another reminder that this is a physical league. So good thing is Jessica Shepard was okay. Of course, this wouldn't be great if Jessica Shepard was hurt or whatever. But this happens. We saw it. We saw stuff happening and players getting upset 2 or 3 times over the weekend, and we saw it twice yesterday. And so this is basketball. It's a fun thing, and DJ Carrington, hey, she's gonna give it all she got, and sometimes her defense will lead to flagrant ones, right? It may lead to some stuff like that, but overall, she has to be a pest. She has to be a menace. And while again she didn't shoot that great, right? 11 points for her, 3 of 9 from the field. Overall, this a lot of struggles from the field for this Dallas Wings team besides Nalissa and Myisha Hines-Allen. Overall, I saw a lot of improvement. I saw a lot of heart for this Dallas Wings team. Myisha Hines-Allen, she played some pretty good minutes. Maddie Siegrist, once again, does come off the bench. And she does not shoot very efficiently, but still made an impact in this game. This game was close throughout. All right. But regardless of how much improvement we saw from Dallas, regardless of the fact that we saw them play a better, I would say, offensive scheme, yes, they were still inefficient, but overall, it felt like they were moving the ball pretty well. And the stats show that, right? They, of the 29 field goals they had, 20 of those field goals were assisted on. Those are good numbers, and you want that number to continue to grow as you go along. But this game was all about the star of Minnesota, and her name is Napheesa Collier. Oh, darn. I was supposed to have a graphic of Napheesa Collier. Dang it. Imagine this is a photo of Napheesa Collier and not Courtney Williams. Because Napheesa Collier did her big one in this game, as she usually does. She is always rocking out. She was a top performer from yesterday's game. When I think about Napheesa Collier, her and A'ja Wilson are some of the best players in the league when it comes to getting to the foul line. Because Napheesa Collier finished this game with 28 points, 8 rebounds, and when we think about her 28 points, yes, she shot efficiently, right? 8 of 13 or whatever from the field, but she got herself to the free throw line so many times. And remember, free throws are free. And when she went to the free throw line, she made the shots. And she was 12 for 12 from the three, or from the three. 12 for 12 from the free throw line. And I was just like, man, like, Fee is on a mission to let everybody know that she deserves a MVP trophy. Napheesa Collier, I feel like, has always been like just right there, always in the conversation. For the last couple of years, she's been in the conversation and for MVP and whatnot. And it feels like last season and Minnesota losing the championship, like it feels like that lit a fire in her. And she was on a tear in Unrivaled, and she's on a tear right now to start the season. And Napheesa Collier, in the lead right now for MVP. I mean, of course, the season just started. We've only seen 3 games, but in 3 games, she was making some stuff happen. And somebody mentioned the free throw thing. Yeah, so Napheesa Collier, she is always trying to get free throws, even when she's not supposed to be getting free throws. If you watched the game yesterday, you saw her sneak into the free throw line when she wasn't even supposed to be shooting no free throws. And somebody on the other team was like, hey, she's not supposed to be shooting. I can't remember who it was, but like that was a very, very funny moment. Like, hey, what are you doing? She's not even supposed to be at the free throw line. I thought that was pretty funny. Anyway. It was, Amy. It really was. It really is. It really was. But yeah, overall, Napheesa Collier did her thing. Some clutch free throws at the end of the game to kind of ice the game. But this is what top players do, right? This game actually got to the wire. It came to the wire. Arike Ogunbowale makes a big time shot to get this team close, right? The game, Arike Ogunbowale makes a 3-point basket. It's a 2-point game. We got like 40-some seconds left to go. We're in the fourth quarter. Lynx 83, Dallas 81. It's close. But, Courtney Williams goes for a mid-range jumper. She misses, gets her own rebound. Courtney Williams had 2 clutch rebounds at the end of this game. Two very clutch rebounds. She gets her own rebound. Ball ends up going to Napheesa Collier. Napheesa gets fouled. She goes to the free throw line. You're only up by 2. You got like 15, 17 seconds, something like that left in the game. And Napheesa Collier gets to the free throw line, makes her 16th and 17th free throw of the game. And, not 16th to 17th. She made her 10th or 11th and 12th free throw of the game and seals it, right? Ice in her veins. You got to make your free throws. You have to make your free throws. We've seen some games so far this year that have been lost by missing free throws. And Napheesa Collier is like, I'm making my free throws. And then Dallas ended up getting the ball. She made both of the free throws. Dallas had the basketball. Paige actually had a pretty good look from the 3 with a couple seconds just to go. And she missed it. Even if she would have made it, it still would have been very difficult for Dallas to win because they would have had to immediately foul and then do it again. So anyway, a really good resurgence for the Dallas Wings. They held in this game the entire time, and they tried to make a run for it at the end of the game. And shout out to them. I thought Dallas played a good game. I did. I think this is their best game this year. They played some pretty good defense at times. They offensively at times were looking really good, really in sync. Yes, they're missing shots. However, shots will eventually fall if your structure is all good to go. Right? So yeah. Anyway. The other players for the Dallas Wings did their Dallas Wings, but the Minnesota Lynx did their thing. Courtney Williams had like 13 points. Huge rebounding at the end of the game to help seal the fate. Alana Smith, she did miss that first game of the year, remember guys, but she has been back. She's been in the starting lineup, and she's Alana Smith. Like, this is like Alana Smith knocks down 3-point shots. She can score she can score at the rim. She can do a little bit of everything. 13 points for her, 6 rebounds for her as well. A smart defense, good hustle for her. Carly Samuelson is another person that I am just loving. I love what Carly Samuelson brings. 9 points for her. She doesn't do too much. 2 for 3 from the 3-point line. She just plays within herself. And here's the deal. Carly Samuelson is not the actual starter for this team. The actual starter for this team is Kayla McBride. However, she is giving this team some really good minutes while Kayla McBride is out for personal reasons. And I think it's cool. I think this team is looking really, really good. And Dallas, they fall to 0-3. But hey, they're looking pretty good. They're still figuring stuff out, and we'll see what happens. Also, shout out to Arike Gumbawale. She had in her 21 points today. She had she hit 500 3-pointers in her career. So like, shout out to her. Yeah. Let's actually move on. Let's actually move on to the next game, because that was not the only game that happened. Let's move on to the next one, which we have. What's the next game I want to talk about? What is the next game I want to talk about? I want to talk about the Golden State Valkyries. That's what we're talking about next. The Golden State Valkyries. Okay. I love both the teams that played in that game. I am a huge fan of this young core and Brittany Sykes and Stephanie Dozen that the Washington Mystics have. And in watching the Golden State Valkyries, now while they have had some things in the media, right? And I've talked about them, quite a bit, but with some of the moves that they made and whatnot, guys, the Golden State Valkyries was fun to watch. Okay, for the second straight game, the Golden State Valkyries sold out. Okay, I'm talking sold out attendance, guys. We saw 18,000 fans in attendance to watch the Golden State Valkyries get their first dub. This was a team that was, struggling, right? They were struggling for a hot second, and they ended up getting out a gutsy win against the Minnesota Lynx. I was just talking about the Minnesota Lynx against the Washington Mystics. Sometimes, guys, I watch so much basketball that sometimes my thoughts get jumbled, and I'm thinking about one team, I say another team, and anyway. I got a super chat. Let's do this. Let's do this super chat. Thank you so much, James, for the super chat. Says, but no drama. Everybody loves that. Yeah. People click for drama, but drama, too much of it is just not good for us. Ultimately, too much of it. So I'm happy that we're able to just talk hoops and not all the other stuff. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about this Golden State Valkyries team. Because this was a team that struggled from the three. Struggled big time from the three to ultimately having a 3 win the game. The Golden State Valkyries lost their home opener, and they wound up winning in front of a sold-out crowd in their second game. They secured their first win in franchise history, and they did it with some guts and Veronica freaking Burton, guys. Okay. Veronica freaking Burton. Let's talk about how this game happened. So, Valkyries won 76-74 for the Mystics. History made. They got their first dub. Great, great, great. But this one had everything. This one had a huge shooting slump, right? This game had a logo shot. This game had a comeback, and this game had a unexpected hero. And it was fun to see. Okay, Veronica Burton in this game. Let me just talk about Veronica Burton real quick. I think do I have a graphic for her? I do. Great. All right, let's talk about Veronica Burton a little bit. Let's talk about her because Veronica Burton is a role player. Like, she's a role player that, like, comes off the bench, doesn't do that much. Like, I mean, she plays within herself, but like, she's a decent player. People don't really talk about Veronica Burton in terms of like her saving a game or something like that. But Veronica Burton is a starter for this Golden State Valkyries team. And when I tell you, this girl showed up and showed out when it mattered the most. Ultimately, she finished the game with 22 points, 9 rebounds in this one, which 22 points, career high, 9 rebounds, career high. She had like 5 assists, 2 steals, a good amount of her points. I would say like most of her points actually came in the fourth quarter alone. She hit a big 3 at halftime, which was a kind of fun thing to see. And then at the end of the game, she knocked down 2 clutch free throws to kind of seal it for the Golden State Valkyries. It was fun to see. Okay, it was very, very fun to see. Veronica Burton put the team on her back. Right, this is someone who, yes, can absolutely play some defense, but she showed us yesterday that, boom, offense, she got it in the bag, and Chase Center was happy to see it. Okay, they're very, very happy to see it. But let's kind of talk about this game in stages. This game actually did not look pretty for Golden State at all. It did not look pretty. This team, they kept missing shot after shot after shot after shot. In that first quarter, when you look at the shot chart, it's pretty abysmal for the Golden State Valkyries because they just couldn't really get anything going. But as the game went on, they were able to kind of calm down of sorts and get it together. But yeah. They missed like 17 straight. Was it 17 straight threes? Was it? They missed a lot. They missed a lot of threes in this game, and yeah, they were terrible. Missed shots left and right. Their offense was not that good to start, and then they get hit with a hammer. Shakira Austin. In real time, it looked like it was an elbow, but like actually looking at the replay, it looked like Shakira Austin did like a turn, and Tiffany Hayes ended up getting like headbutted of sorts by, I don't know if it was like Shakira Austin's jaw or whatnot, but it was like Shakira Austin did like that, and then Brittany Sykes was right there, got hit, or Brittany Sykes. Tiffany Hayes got hit. She went to the ground. It was a pretty bad shot to the face. She ended up getting they ended up panning away. Anyway, she was down bad, basically. She came out the game. She did not return to the game. I believe they said, after a little bit after she was out there, they were like, hey, she's not returning back to the game. It was a huge blow to have your, in my opinion, best player go down in Tiffany Hayes. She went down. She went down in the second quarter. Again, I don't know specifically what happened, but I know, she was like bleeding and whatnot. But yeah, but like it was something like when Shakira Austin turned, she got hurt. And your best player goes down, and you may be like, okay, pack it up, we lost. We're already shooting terrible from the three. Like we're not gonna have an opportunity to win this game. Like that's it. No, we're done, right? We're done. But this team did not fold. Janelle Slan did her thing. She ended up knocking down a big 3-point bucket. She finished with a really good good stat line in this game. She had 10 points, 4 rebounds. She's including a big one towards the end of the game. Like I thought Salon played great. I thought she was a player who, we were wondering how everything is going to work. I thought she played good in this game. Again, didn't score efficiently, right? She was 4 of 11 from the field, so not great, but not terrible either. I thought she gave some really good minutes. Also, Kayla Thornton stepped up in this game. She had 18 points in this one. Again, not that great in terms of shooting. However, she had a big spurt in the third quarter that kind of helped to get the momentum to the Golden State Valkyries. And so that was cool. She did her thing. She had a 4-point play in this game. She was good. Okay. And then we talk about Veronica Burton. Because Veronica Burton deserves her flowers, guys. This is someone who came into the league, was known in a lot of ways as a defender. That's what she did best. Defense, and she can handle the basketball, right? But last night, she did her thing. She was shooting. She was driving to the rim and scoring. And I think her ability to be versatile really helped to open this game up for the Golden State Valkyries, right? 3 of 4 from the 3-point line, huge for this team. And she was able to help this team get in rhythm when they needed it. And yeah, shout out to Veronica Burton. Hey, keep doing this, girl. Keep doing it, okay? Keep doing it. But they weren't the only players who were doing some stuff. Carla Late, added 10 points to this team as well. Overall, the Valkyries played really, really good. I really like the way the Golden State Valkyries ended up playing in this one. However, this is just a start, right? This is just a start. This is not the end all be all. This one win, but this is the validation that clearly, they have made some good moves, right? So all the talk about the personnel on the team and all this other stuff, the Washington Mystics is a good squad. They've shown that they are a good squad in this league so far this year. And the Golden State Valkyries was able to hang on even with a huge scoring drought and ultimately make some stuff happen. I talked about the Golden State Valkyries and some of the decisions that they were making, and I was doubting some of the stuff and whatnot. And this is a team that got clowned online for some of the roster construction type stuff. However, this reminds people that is not what it looks like on paper. You got to go out there and you got to play. And after seeing the Golden State Valkyries go out there and play, I thought they played a heck of a good game too. And if Veronica Burton can continue to do what she's doing, if Kayla Thornton can continue to do what she's doing, right? If Carla Late can continue to do what she's doing, Salon, if she can continue to do what she's doing, this team is actually pretty good. They're a pretty good team. They are a pretty good team. They did lose their home opener. But was able to make stuff happen. I do want to talk a little bit about the Washington Mystics because, yes, the Washington Mystics lost this game. However, I don't have a graphic for this. I wish I did, but can we get some love to Brittany Sykes? In the chat, can we give some love to Brittany Sykes? Brittany Sykes is a player who, again, was seen largely as a defensive player. Brittany Sykes. But ever since she went to the Washington Mystics, she has transformed, I would say, the perception of her. No longer is Brittany Sykes just a defender. No. She is a offensive juggernaut. And man, Slim was hooping yesterday. Hooping. Yes, the Washington Mystics lose this game. Yes, they do. They lose the game. However, I really like this Washington Mystics team. I think this team has a lot of potential, and they are very, very fun to watch. Slim, 30 points yesterday. Again, Slim, 30 points yesterday. Like, I was like, girl, you better do your thing. Do your thing, girl. She was doing her thing. 3 of 5 from the 3. She shot, overall, she didn't shoot bad at all. 8 of 19 from the field. Like, she did her thing. And I just love it because not only do you have some really good youngsters, right? And Sonia Citron, Kiki Ira-Afin, who both had 10 points apiece. Right? Kiki Ira-Afin, double, 12 rebounds as well. Not only do you have that, but so you have a great future in terms of the Washington Mystics, in terms of like your young players, right? Great future, a lot of promise in both of those players. But the thing I love about this Washington Mystics team is that they are not just young. They are young with leaders, guys. Brittany Sykes is a bona fide leader. Okay, she is someone who has been in the league for a long time. Right? Slim has been in the league since 2017. Right? She played for 3 teams, right? She started off with the Atlanta Dream, then she went to the LA Sparks. Now she's with the Washington Mystics. She's been with the Washington Mystics for 3 years so far. Slim is great. And it's a cool hodgepodge of great vet leadership and young fun talent. And again, there's something about Washington that ever since their first game during this regular season, I feel like I am just a broken record. I feel like in almost every stream I've talked about the Washington Mystics, because that's how excited I am about them, because I didn't expect it. Again, I love to be proven wrong. I love it, right? Like yesterday, I was very excited about that Atlanta Fever game, because I was like, there we go. I didn't expect them to have that good of a game, but Brittany Griner and Brianna Jones showed up and showed out. And, in a similar way, I'm very excited about this Washington Mystics team because, again, coming into this season, I didn't think they were even going to make the playoffs. But we are seeing Sydney Johnson. Shout out to Sydney Johnson, the head coach of the Washington Mystics. He was an assistant coach with the Chicago Sky last year, and he is putting together a program. He's putting together a program in the DMV that is, it's fun to see. It is fun to see. And the best part about the Washington Mystics, they don't even have a fully healthy team. Aaliyah Edwards is still hurt. And I'm loving what I'm seeing. I am loving what I am seeing. And I don't know about y'all. Have y'all been watching? Have y'all been watching this Washington Mystics team play? Because I'm just like, oh my goodness. Yes, they lost. And fantastic game by the Golden State Valkyries. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. However, both of these teams have very promising futures. Like very promising. I like Dallas. Oh my goodness. See, I'm blurring with the team names. Anyway, the Washington Mystics are fun, young, but also vet presence. Yes, Stephanie Olsen did not have that great of a game. She didn't. Right? This is someone who can knock down the three and someone who can make some noise for your team. She does not have that great of a game. She only has like 4 points in this game. Not great. However, you got other players who stepped up, and yes, ultimately they don't win this game. But the reason why I wanted to spend a little bit of time shouting out the Washington Mystics is because I feel like no one's really talking about them. And also, I feel like Brittany Sykes still doesn't get the respect she deserves. She still doesn't. And on this channel, I don't want to just focus on all the people that everybody knows. Even though people should know who Slim is, I'm not just gonna focus on like the people whose name is in the headlights and whatnot. I want to talk about people who are doing their big one for their respective teams and people who I feel are not getting the attention. And Slim has been that way for at least 2 years, or she's doing really, really well. And I really like it. I enjoy this Washington Mystics team. I think Sydney Johnson is proving to be a really good coach. Honestly, huge candidate for Coach of the Year. Already from what he has been able to do. Again, there's still some huge battles ahead, right? This is their third game of the year. So we got 41 games left to watch of the Washington Mystics, but I'm going to tell you this, y'all can probably get sick of me talking about the Mystics this year because that's how impressed I am about this team. That's how impressed I am. Of course, we're going to talk about all the teams, but this team, extra special attention because something special is happening. Something very, very special is happening in the DMV. And again, Aaliyah Edwards is not even back yet. She's not even back yet. And I'm just like, dang. But fun. That was fun. So anyway, really good game. Shout out to the Golden State Valkyries. Golden State is also another team. Keep on your radar. The preseason was the preseason. When the season actually started, I think we're seeing some pretty good signs from the Golden State Valkyries as well. They're a fun team. Fun team. All right, and it's only up from here, guys. Only up from here. They do play LA again. See, again, as I said, early in the year, this is a thing that's been happening for years in the WNBA. Early during the WNBA season, we see the same teams play the same teams. So, in preseason, the Golden State Valkyries play the LA Sparks. Their first game of the regular season, they played the LA Sparks, and they will play the LA Sparks again on Friday. Okay? That game is going to be on Ion on Friday. Instead of being at home, they're going to play away. So they started off with 2 home games to start off the regular season. They will play away, which is not that far away. How far is San Francisco and LA? It's probably not that far. So it's still a home-ish game because it's still in California. But that game is happening on Friday. It's going to give an opportunity for Golden State to give a better showing because in that first game, they got that first regular season game, they kind of got killed. And so even though they showed a lot of promise, but they lost pretty badly. So I'm hoping to see some huge improvement from the Golden State Valkyries on Friday as they face off against the LA Sparks. And speaking of the LA Sparks, let's talk about the LA Sparks because they lost yesterday in a very, very narrow game. I was impressed. I was impressed with with the LA Sparks. Like truly impressed with the amount of injuries they had and the changes that they had to make in terms of playing time and players and whatnot. I was thoroughly impressed by them. But they ended up still losing to the Phoenix Mercury yesterday, 89-86. Okay, 89-86. A couple things to talk about in this one. Again, players, take exception to stuff. Stuff happens. There was a moment in the game where I can't even remember. It was an interaction between Azurá Stevens and Satu Sabli. And they were both going for the basketball. And Satu basically Minnesota. The Phoenix Mercury had the basketball. They missed like three shots at the basket and kept getting offensive rebound, but they just kept missing. Missing shot after shot after shot after shot after shot. And then we see Azurá Stevens and Satu Sabli going for the ball. They're jostling for it. I believe a jump ball was called, but Satu ends up knocking down Azurá Stevens, and Azurá gets up. She's like, come on, man. It's kind of funny. I'm a fan of the WNBA is a physical league. I'm a fan of that. Okay, I am a fan of that, and I think it's fun. I think it's funny sometimes when players get upset and whatnot. I think it's very, very fun. Anyway. Let's actually get to it. So we got Satu Sabli knocking down some clutch free throws. We got Kelsey Plum having her foot on the line. We have a very depleted and kind of frustrated LA Sparks bench. And we have a Phoenix Mercury team who may have an injury scare on their hands. Maybe. But with all that being said, the Phoenix Mercury were able to escape with a W against the LA Sparks yesterday. So let's talk about it. So real quick, again, Satu Sabli did her thing. She did her big one in this game. Ultimately, she finished with 25 points in this one. 5 rebounds, 3 assists. But this game really was about a comeback. So in the third quarter, the LA Sparks had a abysmal shooting time in the third quarter. Like they couldn't hit nothing. They were just making mistake after mistake after mistake. The Phoenix Mercury were coasting in that third quarter, right? Had a 14 plus or whatever lead in the game, and they were looking really good because the LA Sparks just couldn't knock down shots. But what the fourth quarter happens, and then LA was like, we actually want to win this game. We actually want to win this game, and then we see De'Arica Hamby, Kelsey Plum making shots. De'Arica Hamby ended up scoring like 7 straight points in the fourth quarter to get LA back in this game. Odyssey Sims does her thing as well. And, it's starting to go to a very close game, right? Kelsey, Odyssey, De'Arica, they all were doing their thing in the start of that fourth quarter, right? But ultimately, after LA made their run, it felt like the Phoenix Mercury was like, actually, nah. You got, we're not gonna let you come back, right? AT, who I'm gonna talk about with her wrist, which is wild. They did a close up on her wrist, and I was just like, oh my goodness, like how in the world can you play? Like what in the world? Anyway, we ended up seeing really good play to close the game out for both Alyssa Thomas, who basically kind of steamrolled the LA Sparks to close out the fourth quarter as well. We saw Satu Sabally get fouled and make some huge buckets, right? Kelsey Plum ends up knocking down a huge three-point basket, 20-something seconds left to go in the game. We have the Phoenix Mercury up by just 2 points, right? And so they end up fouling Satu Sabally. She goes to the free throw line. She makes both of her shots. We see the Sparks call a timeout. They run a play. Kelsey Plum gets fouled. She makes 2 of 3 free throws, and then boom, we're back to a 2-point game. 2-point game again. Okay? And then once again, Satu Sabally gets fouled. She goes to the free throw line. Ultimately, she makes one shot. And so it's a 3-point game. We got less than 15 seconds left to go. 3-point game. Mercury are up by 3. Okay. Kelsey Plum goes for the almost 3-point shot. Goes for her foot. Her foot is there. It's not a 3-point shot. It is a 2, and she makes the shot. So it's like a 20-foot shot or whatever. She makes the shot, but it wasn't a 3-pointer. It reminded me, not totally, but in a way, it kind of reminded me of the Gabby Williams shot in Paris, where France had a chance to what was it, to get it to overtime against the U.S. and her foot was on the line and boom, didn't count, or it counted. It was a 2 instead of a 3, and not the same situation, but this was an instance where LA needed the 3. They needed the 3, and unfortunately, Kelsey Plum made the long 2. And instead of it being tied up 87-87, it's now 86-87. And, of course, with that happening, it was only 4 seconds left. The LA Sparks had to foul. They had to foul the Phoenix Mercury. And Satu goes to the free throw line, makes both of her free throws, and it's over. Final score, 89-86. But yeah. Anyway, great game by Satu Sabally in this game. Ultimately, when Phoenix Mercury needed some clutch plays, we saw 2 players step up, both Satu and Alyssa. Alyssa Thomas, 19 points for her. She scored bucket after bucket after bucket in the fourth quarter to kind of get this game handedly back in the hands of the Phoenix Mercury. And here's the thing: she played 33 minutes, but Alyssa Thomas, she hurt her. She was I think it was her left arm. She was holding in certain parts of the game, and so it seemed like she hurt herself. She ends up going to the bench. AT goes to the bench, and the camera pans in on AT, and we end up seeing her wrist, and I was just like, "Is that her bone? What is that? Is that Alyssa Thomas's bone?" Here's the deal: she hurt her arm, or wrist, or forearm, or whatever. Her left forearm. She was favoring it during the game. She ends up going to the bench, and then the trainer seems like was working on something with her wrist / forearm. She goes to the locker room, and I was like, "Oh, this is bad." And even the commentators during the game, they were like, "Oh man, let's hope AT is okay." And AT, like the warrior she is, AT comes back in the game and finishes it out. AT with a messed up forearm / wrist. She plays 33 minutes, the most minutes on the team. AT is one of the most banged up players in the WNBA. one of the most banged up players, one of the most resilient players who gets hurt, knocked down, injured, whatever. She's playing with at least 2 torn labrums in her shoulders. Like her injury list is long, and yet and still, she still goes out there, comes back, plays, and I'm just like, how can you? Here, I got it right here. Where is it? Yeah, I got it right here. How can you not respect that? Like, truly. How can, like, I am not a fan of AT when my team is playing her. When the Sky playing her, I don't like AT. For, during the 40 minutes or 2 hours or whatever where the Sky are playing a team that AT's on, I don't like AT. But outside of that, I think it's hard to not appreciate the type of player that AT is. She is, I mean, you all are giving great adjectives. Great adjectives, okay? Odessa is saying true warrior. Tisha saying banged up and still performing top tier. Kristen says AT is just a monster. Peg says don't mess with them Terps. Yeah, she's Marilyn Terrapin. Yeah, no, that's what she is. Yeah. AM says AT is insane and it's okay for us to say this now. Tulip says Mick Foley. Oh my God. Mick Foley, WWF. Wow. That's a throwback. Quintus says a true warrior. Sean says she could be a UFC fighter. Serenity says insanely gritty and resilient. Yeah, just imagine if she was at full strength. Yeah. Ron says she's a tank. Yes. I mean, I think you guys are right. L Downs says AT has such an underrated impact in my opinion. Yeah. This is someone who a couple of years ago, in my opinion, she should have been the MVP. It ended up going to Asia Wilson, and like Asia Wilson's great and all, but there was it 2 seasons ago? I can't totally remember, but like Alyssa Thomas was my vote. I don't have an actual vote, but if I had a vote, I would have voted for Alyssa Thomas for MVP. She didn't get it because she plays for Connecticut, and also because her stat line in general doesn't seem that impressive. But if you actually watch the games, you know how valuable she is to her team, both on offense and defense. In my opinion, she does not get the recognition that she deserves because, some people don't like her because they're like, hey, you're dirty because you're literally a tank. And like players have gotten injured or whatnot around you or whatever, and we see some people who are like, she's not impressive because she's kind of boring, she's a normal person, she kind of keeps to herself, and she's not entertaining, and also some people are like, she doesn't have the most stats and whatnot, she doesn't like feed the highlight reels and whatnot. But if you watch the games, you know her impact. Like, I am all about going beyond the box score. That's what I'm all about. I am all about that. Carmela says AT heart and motor doesn't stop. What's so impressive is she gives quality minutes through it all. She is her facts. Facts on facts on facts, guys. I think y'all are absolutely covering it. Absolutely covering it. So yeah. Ramel says playing while she's injured is just dumb. I mean, that's what she wants to do, right? That's what she wants to do. Shamika says, same. I don't like AT at all when she's playing my team. I told my mama, I was like, if AT were to ever join the Chicago Sky, I would immediately buy an AT jersey. But because she don't play for the Sky, I'm just like, I don't know if I want to wear your jersey. So I don't want to support the other team. But like you yourself is amazing. Okay? That's how I feel about DT. LL Kune says, I don't like Courtney Williams or Fee when they play my team. Yeah, me neither. But I tell you, that 1 year where Courtney Williams was on the Chicago Sky, oh my goodness. I was a gigantic Courtney Williams fan. And then she left and I was like, ah, dang. I still like you. But when you're playing the Chicago Sky, I mean, I can't get with you. I can't click clack with that. I can't do it. I can't make it happen. Okay. All right. We got some super chats. Actually, before we do these super chats real quick, let's talk about the LA Sparks real quick. In that game, we saw Sarah Ashley Barker get the start yesterday, and like Sarah Ashley Barker is not a starter for the team. Hands down, not a starter. Like I thought she tried to play as best as she could. And so like I'm not gonna go hard on Sarah Ashley Barker. I'm not. She did not shoot well. She played okay at times. She did a pretty good job at passing the ball, but like a lot of, not great. But the reason why she had to start is because you have a lot of players who are injured for this team, right? Cameron Brink is still out. She's gonna be back at the beginning of July. Rakia Jackson is out on concussion protocol. Ray Burrell hurt her knee, right? And so you end up adding a player like a Leah Tu King to your roster, right? So that's good. She played 13 minutes yesterday, and played actually some pretty good minutes, I would say. Again, when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And Leah Tu King was ready. She played in the game and she played some, I would say, some pretty decent minutes. Sarah Ashley Barker did get the start, and like I'm not putting much on that because Sarah Ashley Barker is not a starter for this team. I think it was just a bad position for her to start. However, I mean, you would have Rakia Jackson starting, and if she was out, you'd have Ray Burrell starting, and both of those players are out. So like you have to like go down the roster and make some stuff happen. And while the injuries are here for the LA Sparks, I thought LA played as best as they possibly could. They played as best as they possibly could, with in mind what they had to work with, right? You had Sarah Ashley Barker in the starting lineup, who like definitely is not a starter. You had turnovers left and right for a huge stretch. Like Kelsey Plum, like she can play the point, but like full time. I don't know. I got some issues with that full time point guard. But offensively, she did her thing. Besides the turnovers, 25 points for her, 6 rebounds for her as well. She did the best that she possibly could for this team to try to, she's a part of them, getting down a little bit. But then she's also a part of this team kind of coming back as well. De'Erica Hamby, I thought played well. 15 points for her, 7 rebounds for her as well. She played some really good minutes. Azurá Stevens is one of those underrated players. Azurá Stevens just does her job, does it well. Like I think sometimes people look at Azurá and they're like, oh, she's not that good or whatever. Like she is, guys. And I watched Azurá for years with the Chicago Sky. And I was a huge fan of her then. Yesterday, she balled out, guys. A huge reason as to why the LA Sparks were even still in the game and still had a chance to win this game was because of Azurá Stevens. She plays with heart, she plays with grit, and she did her thing. 23 points in this game, 17 rebounds. She rocked out, guys, and she is fearless. Fearless. So yes, the LA Sparks lose. However, this is not a bad loss at all. Not a bad loss because they were a team that had a lot of injuries. They ended up starting someone who had no business starting. And they held their own against the Phoenix Mercury, who, when it's all said and done, will be towards the top of the leaderboard in the WNBA. So LA, I don't have bad stuff to say. I don't have bad stuff to say about LA. I don't. Because I thought they played the best they possibly could. And they played better than I was expecting. Okay. So yeah. Anyway. So that's that real quick. I just wanted to mention that. And then for Phoenix, the big two right now keep doing their thing and whatever. Good win by the Phoenix Mercury, ultimately just getting it done, making it happen, and they win 89-86. All right. Okay. Let's get to y'all super chats again. Thank y'all so much for the super chats. And we're going to close out with the super chats, and because I got to go to work. Thank you so much, Shamika, for the super chat. Says the Valkyries put on a master class on defense. At times, they absolutely did. Yeah, at times, yeah. Eddie, thanks so much for the super chat. Says, hey, Quita, I am a Fever fan, but love the Valkyries too. Keep up the good conversation. Thank you. Shout out to all the people who like more than one team, okay? Levy, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, facts. Taylor, thank you for the super chat. Says, lots of close games. Love to see it. Like, dog. That's what it's all about, man. I love close games. Love it. Coco, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, Quita, we listen to you with my kids, and I don't worry that they won't hear what they're not supposed to hear. Thank you. Yes, this is a very family friendly show. Like, this is a very family friendly show. We not about that life on this channel. No offense or anything to people who do or whatever, but like on this channel you ain't gonna hear no curse words. You're not gonna hear derogatory talk. You're not gonna like you're at least for me you're not. Sometimes the chat get a little wild, but like for me you're not gonna hear any of that stuff. And yeah, I want people to feel comfortable listening to this in any setting, right? And knowing that they're not going to hear anything that is bad. Okay? All right. Let's finish up with Levy for another super chat. Thank you so much. Says she has the record for most triple doubles. Yeah, Alyssa Thomas has been I'm assuming you're talking about Alyssa Thomas. Yeah, she's been rocking out. She has been rocking out for years, okay? For years. 4 years. All right, guys. Yeah, man. I don't have anything else to say. Guys, I gotta go. Gotta get to work. And I gotta, get hyped up for the game tonight. So again, if y'all are interested in watching the Sky versus the Fever, or no, not Sky versus the Fever, Sky versus the Liberty, you all can watch that tonight. Tonight that game is happening. And it's going to be at 7 p.m. At 7 p.m. Sky versus Liberty. And also the Fever do play the Dream at 6:30 p.m. All right. The game against Fever and the Dream, that game, again, rematch. They just played each other. But that game is taking place in Atlanta, and also it's going to be on Prime Video. All right, so if y'all want to watch that game, you can do that. If you want to watch the Chicago Sky, that is, I believe, available on WNBA League Pass. And or, if you want, I will be at the game. I'll be doing my normal watch and talk throughout the game, so y'all can check out my other channel, Talking Sky with Quita and Mama. Okay, y'all can watch that. Home opener for the Chicago Sky. I'm excited about it. Anyway, I will see y'all in the next one, guys. Have a good one. Be kind to people. Tell somebody that they matter, because they truly, truly, truly do. If no one has told you, you matter. Let me tell you, you matter. You are important, and I'm happy that you are on this earth. Guys, I love you. Most importantly, guys, Jesus loves you, and he wants a relationship with you guys. Have a great one, and I will see y'all in the next one. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.